Hello and welcome back to Medicine Creek. Right, so quickly I just want to say thank you to everyone that's helping me and supporting the channel. Really do appreciate it. Definitely means the world to me, so thank you very much for that. Alright, so let's just give you a little bit of an update on what's going on. So it's now the next in-game day from my last episode, so we're in Midsummer Day 4. Corn's not just ready yet, but who knows? I mean, the wheat kind of popped up midday, so it still could be ready in this episode. I really haven't got a clue. I mean, I could look in here and you can see that it says that it shouldn't be ready until pretty much the start of autumn, but you never know. Soybeans is the same, so pretty much we're not going to be doing any harvesting anytime soon. So we could probably prepare Field 62, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing with Field 62 yet. I know that I've got one more harvest on this map before I move over to another American map, and there is some good options. I have got the harvester out because I feel like the corn's going to be first, just because obviously where it is. If you actually look in the field, you can see that it's more grown, so it's progressing a lot quicker than the soybeans, which is probably about right. So all I pretty much need to do is pick up the bales when they're fermented and just go sell them. I've got all the remaining straw bales on here. I've got a few straw bales sitting in here that we need to unload in this episode. And then pretty much when that's done, we can do a bit of TMR if we need to. Not sure if it's worth it yet, I'll be honest, because of the cows. They're not really producing any milk, so we can do. I mean, there's nothing stopping us. We've got plenty of silage, hay and straw, so there really isn't anything stopping us. But yeah, we can store these off, and then I think pretty much then we're playing a waiting game, and we might be able to come up with a plan what to do going forward. I mean, for the last harvest, I've had an idea of maybe selling all the fields that I've got here, so 61, 55, 53, 52, and 62, and then maybe getting a bigger field, like maybe Field 46, and just doing one big harvest. Now, because the pricing on this map is so difficult, and it really is difficult, I have had a bit of a change. So, as you can probably tell here, the price has gone up a little bit, not too much. I think basically previously, soybeans, for example, was about 10. It's supposed to be dollars. I will change that. It's supposed to be 10 pounds, dollars, whatever, for a bushel. What I've done is put it on easy difficulty, and it's now gone up to 16, which is still less than what it would be on normal difficulty without the way that this map's set up. So I just think it gives us a little bit of a head start, a bit of a boost, and hopefully then can help us generate a bit of money taking over to the next map. That's the plan anyway. I have had some good suggestions as well from people in the comments section about what to do regarding getting a tractor with more power. Now, people have been mentioning just sell maybe a couple of tractors I've already got and get a bigger one. Now, I would do that. It's a really good idea, but if you can see, because of the amount of hours that's on this and the hours that are on this, I wouldn't get much money for these two. This is the only one I'll get money for, but I like this tractor and it's like 450 brake horsepower, so it's not too bad. It really is quite up there for power. And this one here, I'm pretty much still paying off anyway with the loan. I think it's about 115,000 I've got on a loan, which we definitely need to make sure we pay off. And if we don't pay it all off when we go over to the next map, we'll have to take over that loan with us. So that is the plan. Right, so I think the first thing I'll do is let's get these bales put away. I did put them under cover because it has rained overnight, so we did have a bit of rain. We should be able to sort this out now, so let's just get in here, probably pull it up, maybe give us a south or a better angle anyway to try and take these bales off. This is definitely quite stacked high, so it's going to be prone to tipping. I think I might actually do some TMR. I think it makes sense to do a bit of TMR. Now, I am using a G29 steering wheel, but only when I'm driving around. If I'm doing things like this, I'm on a PlayStation controller at the moment. But then the plan is to not always do that. The plan is pretty much to use the controller when needed. So if I'm walking around, or what I'm doing now, for example, and then when I'm driving, just doing field work, anything like that, I can switch straight over to my G29 steering wheel, and that can be a plan. So I might just stack these up against the back wall again, and we'll just kind of keep moving out. I mean, there is going to be quite a lot of bales coming through. We will sell, obviously, a lot too, but what I might do, because I know I've got soybeans straw and corn straw, I might just do 3 rows of each. It shouldn't take me too long to do this. I am doing 3 high, which means I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. Gone off on that one. Oh, still getting used to using a PlayStation controller. I've been using an Xbox One for quite some time, and as you can tell, it's a little bit different. There we go. I will go and check on the field as well soon, just to see how the grass silage bales are getting on. I'm hoping they're not too far away, to be honest. I mean, is there a light in the shed? I don't think there is. Oh, there is. So we might have to find where the light is, because that might make things a little bit clearer. There we go. Oop. Right, so there's got to be a light switch around. It looks like it's there. So let's switch the light on in here so we can... There we go, that's much better. Right, so what I'll do is I'll just finish this off. I'll do a bit of a jump cut to when they're all stacked away. And then we'll probably go and make a little bit of TMR for the cows and clean up as well. Right, so there we go. I've just stacked up every single straw bale bar one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook up to the feed mixer that I've got, and we're going to try and do a little bit of a mix and see how much we need. I mean, we probably don't need much, but it's probably better just to do a full mix. It has been a while, to be honest, since I've actually used a feed mixer that's not been Maize Plus. So this is pretty much just going to be double the amount of hay and silage to what we've got when it comes to straw. So I think that's how I remember it. This is one loud tractor, it really is. There we go. Right, so let's go get a hay bale, and then I'll get some silage after. Get a bucket underneath the actual fermenter. I think that's probably the best way to do it. In fact, we might go and get a small trailer, fill a bit of silage up and just tip it in here. And then when we do need to mix, maybe in the future, I don't even know if we will. Because let's have a look at the volume of that now then. Oh, we're already at 77%, so that's insane. What I should have done is basically filled it up with 2 bales of, basically a bale of hay, then some form of silage, and then finish off with straw. I think that's what we're going to need to do. This is going to be a bad mix. It still will be classed as forage, but it'll be a bad mix. Let's just tip that out. It's a hell of a lot, whatever it is. I think it's hay. So that's the hay that we put in. And now we're going to tip some straw. So I do like that. Especially kept the bales for what they are. But it means that we're going to be needing a bucket. Right, so here we go. everything's set up, everything's in here. Got some silage in here, picked up the bucket. So let's just get a bucket load of hay first, and then we'll get a bucket load of silage. And we'll take a bearing what that'll do then with a bucket load of straw, and we can figure out from there what we're going to do. With it being in pounds as well, and yeah, it's a little bit more tricky because I'm obviously not used to the pounds and tons and all that kind of stuff. Again, it's one of them things you'll just get used to. I'm definitely going to put a bucket of each in anyway, so I imagine that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think this bucket originally holds around 3,000 litres, so we shouldn't get this one wrong this time, even if we put a bucket of each in. And the good thing about Maize Plus is you can actually see the mix ratios when you're not in the tractor that's obviously connected to the mixer. Now, I think as well the bales that I was doing weren't 4,000 litres, so obviously that does have an effect. And I do think the cows need just a little bit of mess they've made, so we probably do need sorting out. I'm going to try and give them some straw as well, try to generate a bit of manure. So it doesn't look like it's that full, to be honest. We're at 50%, and the mixing, the ratio is fine, but I think if we put any more straw in, we might have a bit of a problem. So let's give one more bucket of hay and another bucket of silage, and we should be there. There we go. At least we've cleaned up the hay, well, nearly, tiny little bit. Oh well, it's only the tiniest bit. It'll still annoy me, I'll be honest. Now I really don't imagine that they're actually going to use much of this feed, to be honest. We haven't got that many cows. We really haven't. And if we're not full, I might try and use a bit of the straw to fill up, with obviously being careful to not go over, because I definitely don't want to repeat this again. That really wouldn't be a good idea. So we're at 83%, so we have got room for probably another bucket, but what I'll do just to be safe is I'll probably put another bucket of silage, and then we've got that straw there for whenever we need to do another mix. We'll pretty much go through that pretty quick. It actually looks more when it's out on the ground like that than it actually is. And then what I'll do is I'll keep the bucket in here, because I can't imagine we're going to be using this bucket for much else. There we go. That should be fine. I doubt they're going to use more than that. So let's just drop this bucket off here. We'll turn that off. Give this a mix and go feed the cows. I mean, you don't really need to mix it, but I always do, because at the end of the day, that's what they're there for, to mix the feed around, to obviously turn it into total mixed ration. I would prefer if it had like a timer like Hofburg does, where it's like 60 seconds and then, you know, you've mixed it. There we go. Give them a bit of water as well, and then when all we need to do is use the bobcat to clean up the mess. Probably have to keep it in the bucket because this is probably going to fill up, to be honest. There might be some room left for the silage though. I think it will go under the section for silage, so that's good. There we go then. So it didn't use hardly any, to be honest. There was a very small amount consumed. 20% I think, about 25% of what was in there. And that should last them maybe 2 days. And then we'll have to fill up again, which so we've got at least a few days worth there. So let's just drop this silage in. And what I'll try and do then is actually have a look at maybe placing a straw bale in one of the triggers. Now, if I remember, the trigger for straw could be around here or at the gate. Now, I don't know if I need a straw blower, but there's only one way to find out. I'll pick a bale up by hand and see if it works. Hopefully it does. There we go. And this is 8,000 litres. So it's definitely a big size bale. I think that's what did me in on the first time around trying to mix using a 8,000 litre bale. It's got to be over here, hasn't it? There we go. So it has picked up some straw. So if we just leave it there, you can see that the straw's gone here. And then we should get a bit of manure, I think, around here. I think that's when it'll start spawning. And we've already got a full load in here of manure to start spreading. Slurry's still a problem. I think I saw a suggestion from Smock Farmer, basically making out that just to get something to transport it from one place to another can be done, but what I'd have to do, just because I'm low on money, is actually purchase it but then not own it, so it won't come out of my bank account. It will just be for the use of moving it over from here to there. But hopefully this won't be an issue in the next map. Right, so we've cleaned the cows out, we've fed them, they've pretty much got everything. They are clean. Soybean straw's not full though, which is a bit strange. Makes me think, I wonder why. Unless it is. I'm sure it's triggered to about here. But that is strange. Best thing to do is press F5. There you go. A bit of a lag will come up. There's the trigger for straw. So it's pretty much here. So maybe it needs to be... Maybe you can only give them that much at a time. Maybe they don't want more than that. Maybe it's so you can keep coming back. I don't know. It's a bit strange, but at least they've got TMR. Got quite a bit of slurry, to be honest. 24,000 litres. And they are cleaned out. That will refresh soon. So the only thing we need to do now is go check on the bales. And then also go and sell the straw bales that are left in the field. Hopefully now I'll get a little bit more money for. I think we got around 5,000 last time. I will just check that quickly. So there you go. We got £4,800 for a full load of bales. Now we haven't got anywhere near the full load, but we've still got quite a few. So hopefully it will be pretty good. So let's just quickly jump over to field 54 and we can have a quick look at how these bales are getting on in the field. Now I did wrap these bales from probably that end of the field start into this end of the field, so these are going to be the ones that ferment last. And they've still got quite a bit to go, so we're not anywhere near doing that. So I think the only thing we need to do now is just jump into the truck, which has got these bales on, and I'll switch over to my steering wheel and we'll head over to the same sell point as we went last time, and we'll get these bales sold. Right, so here we go. Let's get going. It shouldn't take too long. It's not... I mean, this is a pretty fast truck, to be honest, and the distance isn't too bad. It's not as close as the one that I normally go to, but I think with that one being on the up and we want to compare the difference in price, we should get less anyway because it's less bales, but I'm hoping to get a better amount this time, and maybe knowing about the price on this map now properly. I do wish that I set it to the easier difficulty, which is still quite difficult to be honest. I do wish that I'd done that a little bit sooner, especially for them bales. Alright, so just down here now, just swing this around. And the sell point is pretty much just down here to the right. It makes me think how big some of these fields are that I'm driving past. It's insane. Definitely some serious work if we start tackling fields like that. It does make me think though we should try and do it at least once. The next harvest, one big field. I think it'll go down a treat now. Can't believe how loud this truck is. I think in the next American map we'll go with a different model, one that's not trying to blow my ears apart. Right, there we go. So if we just quickly just drop that off. There we go. So we've made quite a bit of money. So it seems like maybe 2 bales is 425, which is not too bad at all. Up to 11,000 now as well, which does help. So that's actually a big improvement. That really is. So let's just have a quick look in the finances and you can get an idea of what we just done. So we nearly actually made the same amount of money as we did in the last episode, which is pretty good. So I am definitely more happier now with the way the pricing's turned out. It's a little bit more forgiving and rewarding for all the hard work that you do put in, and it gives us a good stepping point to maybe hopefully pay off the loan and then going on to the next map after the second harvest with a bit of cash behind us to maybe improve and get some bigger equipment. And I do like a suggestion that someone made in one of the comments, which is if you do keep going over to different US maps, take one piece of kit with you each time, and then you have to have that on the next map. It doesn't have to be the same piece of kit each time I do switch over, but at least one piece of kit, and I do think that's a good suggestion because then there is something remaining, and I'll try and match up the time on the, if it's a tractor for example, try and match up the actual time that's on it. I think that'll be a good idea. So let's head back. I'll take a bit of a recap and see if there is anything else to do, and if not, we'll have to leave the video there. And then probably in the next episode we'll be doing some serious harvesting. Right, so I'm back. So what I've decided to do is I'm obviously going to keep this trailer for when we pick up the grass silage bales to sell, which I'm now expecting to get a really good chunk of money for, to be honest. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to bring the truck into the field and park it up here, because obviously it's going to get some more use, so it just makes sense. Right, so there we go, job done. Right, so what I might do now is a bit of a jump cut. We'll speed up time to the next in-game day till there is something to do, and then we can get an idea at least what we're going to do in the next episode. Because, I mean, not much has actually gone on this episode, but I guess we are pretty much just playing the waiting game. So I'll do a jump cut and we'll see what's happening and then what there is to do. Right, so welcome back. So it's now day 5, late summer, 5 o'clock. And as you can tell, the corn is ripening up. It's still not ready to harvest, but as you can tell, it is going in the right direction. But it's still on the dark green scale, but there is some serious amount of corn, and it's definitely ripening up. I don't know if the texture will change now. Can't really see any cobs on there. That looks pretty cool. I really do like the fact that we did that, I'll be honest. Whee! But you could get lost in there forever. So yeah, that's pretty much sound. Let's just go have a check on the soybeans, see what they're looking like. I'm not going to do anything with field 62. I have decided that we are going to be using a bigger field. Do one big field on the second harvest. I think it makes more sense. Soybeans are coming along all right. They aren't the same normal texture that I'm used to. Now, I don't know if that's because they're only 50% grown, but they are definitely got some moisture in the crop. It's got 60% moisture. That is a lot. I know it has been raining quite a bit. But what is happened is obviously fed the cows. A bit of manure now spawning in. But the bales are now ready. So I think what I've decided to do before I end the episode is I'm actually going to go and sell a full load of bales. So we need to change over to round bales. We need to turn it on. And then we'll go and drive around. Now, again, I'm using the steering wheel for this. I'm just going to fill up once. I think it makes more sense to do this. It can hold 38 bales, so that is a lot. And I'm hoping to get also a lot of money for it, which is going to improve us tremendously. I mean, we're sitting at 10,000, so it's not like we haven't got any money. But we can obviously help ourselves a lot by getting a good chunk from this silage, which is why I did it, because it did take a hell of a long period of time to get all these bales wrapped and baled up and all that. So let's try and pick up at least what's down this end. I mean, 38 bales is probably going to be the majority, to be honest, of what we've already got here. It really is. Down at this end, that's it. So there isn't any more down this end because of the fact that I picked up with the loading wagon. There's a bit of a ditch here. I did try and level out as much as I could, hence why there's a different growth stage there. But it's so much easier using an auto load trailer for this many bales. It really is. Just makes such a difference. So this is probably going to pick up the majority of them, which is good news. It means that I can probably do this in 2 runs. Just need to take our time. But we have got 38 bales on here of 8,000 litre capacity silage bales. So let's just have a quick look at the menu and we can make sure that we're going to go to the right place. It seems like that's the best place for £1 of silage. Now, it doesn't look like much there, but £1 of silage really isn't much. It definitely isn't much. I can't remember how many pounds are in a bale. I know it's 8,000 litres. I probably should have checked. But maybe, I mean, that 1 cent, let's call it, even though it's pound sign, but we are in America, that 1 cent is going to make a difference, I think, when it adds up. So where is that sell point? Ah, it's the one that we go to anyway, so that's good news. So I guess we'll just head there again. And hopefully, we'll be surprised at how much money we do eventually get for this. Right, so we're here. I have had to put the strapping on because I didn't want it to fly off, and I feel like we're going to fly off if I didn't, so with it being such a distance I didn't want to go dead slow, so I put the strapping on, which does sometimes make it a little bit unstable. But if I take the corners at a slow speed, then I don't usually have an issue. So money wise right now we're sitting at 9,300, so let's just have a look at what happens when we go up and sell these. So look at that. That is much improved to what it used to be. We're now at 22,000. We've made a hell of a lot of money today from bales, so I'm happy about that. Money is going in the right direction. all that hard work is paying off, and we've still got quite a few bales in that field. And when you think about the amount of silage I've just sold, 8,000 litre bales and 38 of them, it's still a lot less than what you'd normally expect from other maps. So still difficult, but obviously beneficial compared to what it was before, which was really difficult. Right, so on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.